I'm Jason with Rainier Shade. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the fabric on one of our motorized retractable awnings. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you go to change out the fabric is you want to tie up the arms because they're under high tension, so when you remove the fabric, you're just going to spring out on you. So you can use a strap, a rope. I just happen to have a scrap piece of fabric that I'm going to tie around it. So you're going to go right close to the wrist here. Just wrap it over. I'm going to do a double wrap. And you don't need to tie real tight because you're going to want to loosen it up a little bit here in a minute. So I'm just going to kind of do a double knot. That should be good. Then you're going to do it on the other arm also. So if you have one of our optional hoods, the next thing you're going to want to do is remove that. It'll make it easier to get the fabric in and out. So the other option is you could remove this wing here and slide it out. If it's a big awning, a big wide hood that's hard to remove, it might be your better option to remove the wing. But in our case, small hood, we're going to remove that. So we'll get that off of there. To remove the hood, you're going to loosen your set screws on the bottom here with a Phillips screwdriver. Loosen that on both sides until it's flush there. And once that's loose, you should be able to just lift it up off the torsion bar. And it should come right out. Good. Set that aside. So once you've removed the hood, if you had one, the next thing you're going to want to do is get this valance out of your way. So to do that, you're going to remove the screws on the end. In this case, it's a drop valance front bar. So our standard front bar is a little different. There's just only 2 screws, but the concept's the same. You just pull the screws out, pull the end cap off. Get that out of your way. And then you're going to need a 2mm Allen wrench to loosen up this fabric lock right there. You loosen that up. And the valance it's got one of these on each end. I've already loosened the other end. And that should just slide right out. And you can get that out of your way. All right, so now that you got your valance removed, the next thing you want to do is unroll the old fabric so that you can get it removed. We're going to need a helper at the other end. And what you're going to do is usually I use the remote as long as it's motorized. You're going to push down and you're going to grab right about here so that you can pull it to where it's going to feed down over the front bar. So go ahead and let it unroll. You're going to help it. Like I said, one guy at each end doing this. Once it gets to about here, there's a certain point where it's just going to kind of feed on its own. You're still going to want to watch and you can kind of help it a little bit. And it's going to stop there. That's the existing limit. Then you can get beyond that by pushing the up and down button at the same time. So it jogs, and then you're in limit adjustment mode at that point. You can unroll the rest of the fabric. You can see there's still some up there. You're going to want to get it all the way until the groove is lined up right about here. And now you're ready to remove the old fabric. So now that you've got the fabric unraveled, you're ready to pull it out. There's a fabric lock at each end of the fabric, so you're going to want to loosen both ends in your front bar and your roller tube. So you can take your 2mm Allen wrench and loosen that, and then loosen that one until it's wobbly. You don't have to pull it all the way out or anything. And then you're ready to pull your fabric. And it should slide right out at that point in time. You take a little bit of a finagling, but once it gets sliding, it's pretty easy. Loosen that one a little more. And there we go. And you're ready to slide it out. So when you open up your new fabric, it's going to be rolled up. So you're going to want to unroll it, and I fold it in half with the seams, the folds together, like this. And this is the way it's going to feed onto your roller tube. You will notice there's a top and a bottom mark on there. The top is going to be your roller tube side, and the bottom is going to be the front bar side. So before you go slide your fabric in, you're going to want to put your fabric locks in your fabric. One there and one there, and you're ready to slide that in. All right, so making sure that your fabric locks are right here. You're going to slide it in. See, I got the top piece marked to go into the roller tube. Make sure that slides in, then the bottom one. Make sure the fabric locks in right. Feed that right in here. You want to make sure that the heater that's in here feeds in right there. Once you get it started, it should slide in pretty easily. This is where you need one guy feeding like this to make sure it's going in right, and the other guy's pulling. There you go. And you're in, and you're going to put your other fabric locks in here. Might have to pull it out just a little bit here to put that in, and every part will pull back that way a little bit with the roller tube. Pull the roller tube in a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to do this one. Front bar, go ahead and pull the front bar one a little bit. Highway. Yep, and you're good. And tighten those down, and we'll stretch it out. All right, so now that your fabric's in place, you're going to tension the fabric along your front bar and roller tube. You can tension the other side first and then pull one way. And then once you get them pulled, you're going to give it a little bit of tug this way to make sure it's taut along the roller tube. And give it a good tight tension there. And do your front bar too, pull away, tighten it, and you're set to roll it up. So now that your fabric's tensioned, you're ready to roll it up. So you stick your remote. You're going to need a guy on each side, and you're pulling down kind of at this angle. You're going to pull it down and away on your roller tube, and then start rolling it up. For a little bit at a time, make sure that you keep an even tension. Keep all the wrinkles out. It doesn't have to be perfect because once it rolls in, you're going to roll, the arms will retension it. So. And there you go. You've got your new fabric on there. So the last thing you really need to do is put the valance back on, the new valance. Make sure there's a fabric lock. Same process as putting the fabric on. Slide it in. You're going to make sure the orientation is correct to where the fold of the fabric is back toward the wall. And also make sure the seams line up. You're going to make sure to put your other fabric lock in, so you need to slide back a little bit. And maybe part to pull back at it. Your way. And should be good to go. Same process as the fabric. You can tighten up your fabric locks and tension it across, and you're done. All right, so now you're ready to remove the ties from your arms and then operate, make sure everything operates properly. So you can pull these, and you can take the remote and run it out, make sure everything's good. And you're good to go. And the next thing last thing you're gonna do is just finalize it, put your end caps back on the front bar, put your hood back on if you have one, and you'll be all done.